Let me start by expressing my thanks to Minister Radev for hospitality of this very important event. Also to my good friend Mr. Albert for the excellent way he steered this very important meeting that gave very concrete conclusions. For me it was a pleasure to be in Sofia yesterday and today. Today it was an official visit to Bulgaria. Today I was representing the European Commission and attended this annual EU West Balkans Justice and Home Affairs Ministerial. And as Minister Albert said before, to discuss issues related to migration, borders and security. To discuss with our colleagues from this very, very important region, important neighborhood. The European Union and the Western Balkans are important partners when it comes to all these issues. We all know that we are confronted with the same challenges. We discussed several issues related to migration and border management, focusing on the phenomenon of smugglers, as well as terrorism and radicalization. Even if the Western Balkans route is relatively stable today, and secondary irregular migration flows have gone down, have subsided, the organized crime groups and smugglers have not stopped their operations. We discussed the cooperation with Europol, and I encouraged my ministerial colleagues to work very closely with Europol to target and dismantle organized crime networks responsible for facilitating this activity. We also discussed the implementation of readmission agreements between the Western Balkans and the European Union, which is an important tool to reduce irregular migration. Now, on the visa-free travel regime, it is clear from today's meeting that we all remain committed to safeguarding mobility between the European Union and the Western Balkans while limiting abuses. The updated visa suspension mechanism is a tool that we have at hand, but one that we do not need to use at this stage. And it's in everyone's interest that it stays that way. In parallel, by 2021, the new European Travel Information and Authorization System, the well-known ESTA, will become operational, which will also help us to limit security or irregular migration risks. I know that there have been some misunderstandings in recent media, so let me be very clear once again. We have every intention to preserve our proximity and partnership and to facilitate mobility and people-to-people contacts between the European Union and the Western Balkans. The purpose of ETIAS is to strengthen our capacity to manage the security and the migration risks while enhancing mobility, not limiting it. I have said it before, and I repeat again, ETIAS is not a visa. It is a simple and cheap security mechanism that applies to all countries whose citizens travel visa-free to the Schengen area. Citizens from visa-free countries will still be able to travel without a visa, but will have to obtain a simple, quick, and cheap travel authorization prior to their travel to the Schengen area. The Commission will soon adopt a report on the implementation of the visa-free regime. We also discussed today ongoing negotiations with several Western Balkan countries to launch joint operations under the European Borders and Coast Guard's new mandate. We have already started negotiations with Serbia and the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, and recently the Commission was granted a mandate to launch similar negotiations with Albania, Bosnia-Herzegovina, and Montenegro. Since our previous meeting a year ago in Bordeaux, the European Union has taken firm action against the threat of terrorism and radicalization. We have enhanced security at the external borders, improved information exchange, closed down the space in which terrorists operate, and taken measures to prevent radicalization both online and offline. Our joint cooperation with the Western Balkans remains essential in this regard, and I welcome the fact that our partnership in this area has been strengthened. We need now to further build on this, particularly on issues such as counter-radicalization, foreign terrorist fighters, and firearms trafficking. Both on countering radicalization as well as addressing the issue of returning foreign fighters, we face the same challenges. We are cooperating on several levels, including through the Radicalization Awareness Network, and we need to reinforce this cooperation. Since our joint statement on firearms trafficking, progress has been achieved on many fronts. We are implementing all these actions that we agreed on last year. However, more needs to be done on sharing intelligence, strengthening and enforcing the law, and improving stockpile management and preventing theft. I am encouraged today by the continuous commitment and engagement of our partners to continue making efforts on all fronts, ranging from migration to border management and increasing security. The deployment of Europol and the European Borders and Coast Guard liaison officers with the regional mandate will certainly only contribute to such efforts. With every year that we meet, our partnership only grows closer, and it is becoming stronger, paving the European path for the Western Balkans. In conclusion, as the President said before, we can say that we are all on the same track. We are all on the same line. We share the same spirit of responsibility, and we are determined to doing more in the future in order, first of all, to better protect our citizens, to better protect our countries, European Union, to better manage our common borders, and to open the way so one day we can celebrate the integration, the accession of all these countries of Western Balkans in the European family. Thank you.